Hi and welcome to Fun Swedish. Today we're going to talk about how you pronounce the Swedish U. U. First thing you need to know about this letter is that it looks like the English U.
Looks can be deceiving.
But it's not the same pronunciation in Swedish. We say U. In order to get the Swedish U right, you kind of need to think that you're smelling some old milk and you do this U sound, but maybe a milder version of it. Something more like U, U. You can also think that it's a lazy version of the Swedish letter O. Because if you remember from our previous video about the Swedish O, O, you kind of put your lips out and form a little circle when you say it. O. But when you do the Swedish U, it's like you get a little bit lazy with your lips. You don't do O, you do more like U. It's less of a circle with your lips. It's more like U. Let's compare these two letters again. U, circle. U, lazy circle. So, U is how you pronounce the Swedish U in the alphabet and in some words. But not all words, because just like all the Swedish vowels, also the U has two different sounds. A long sound and a short sound. U, 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 U. So how can you tell if you should do the long version or the short version? Well, let's repeat the rule we learned in the previous videos about the Swedish vowels. In general, if the vowel, in this case the U, is followed by just one consonant, then the U becomes long, U. Like you can see in the word hus, house, hus, long U, because we're just one consonant coming after the U, the S. On the other hand, if we have more than two consonants coming after the U, then it becomes short, like in the word bus, bus. Here we make a short version of the U, because we have two consonants coming after, the two S's. Let's say these two words again so you can hear the difference between the long and the short version of the U. Hus, bus, hus, bus. Hus, bus. Do you follow me? Hope so. Let me know otherwise in the comment section below. By learning how the Swedish vowels sound, you will sound more Swedish when you speak. And if you want to practice this more and learn more about Swedish pronunciation, then you should take our 100% beginner course. We have this online course that you can take whenever you want. Moving on. There are, of course, some exceptions.
Here we go again.
We will talk more about the exceptions later in this video. But even if they exist, it's still good to learn the general rule, since it applies to most situations. And it will improve your Swedish a lot. So, let's go back and look at more examples that follow the general rule, where you can hear the long version of the U and the short version, U. In the word ut, out, you can hear the long version of the U because it's followed by only one consonant, the T. Ut. Then, on the other hand, we have the word up, up. Here, the U becomes very short because we have two consonants coming after the U, the double P's. So let's compare these two words. Ut, up. Ut, up. Another useful word with a long version of the U is the word kul. Here, the U becomes long because we're just one consonant coming after, the L. But pay attention to this. Kul does not mean cool. That is a false friend. Kul for us is either fun or nice. Depends a bit on the situation, but it doesn't really mean cool. Even if Google Translate says so. Because our word for cool is actually cool or häftig. And these can also change a little bit if you're talking about an N or an Et word. Anyway, kul is a useful word, and remember that it's pronounced with a long U. Kul. Then we also have the word kull with double L, which makes the U short. Kull. Kull is how we say brood. Basically, a group of baby animals. Let's compare these two words. Kul, kull. Kul, cool. So if you want to say how nice or how fun to something, then you need to say vad kul and not vad kul. Otherwise, you are saying how a group of baby animals. Moving on, A good phrase where you can practice this long version of the you is in the phrase hur mår du? Hur mår du? That's how we say how are you. Here the you in hur is long because the u is followed by just one consonant, the r, hur. The you in du also becomes long because in general when there's nothing followed by the u, then it becomes long as well. Not always, but in general. That's why we say here du and not du.
Buckle up back there, we're going into...
Some exceptions to all these rules I taught you. Like we said, exceptions normally happens when Swedish borrow words from other languages because that can sometimes break the normal Swedish rule. Like for example, the word pub. Pub is how we say pub. This is a borrow word. And here, the u becomes long even if there's just one consonant coming after. So we say pub and not pub. You can also see exceptions in compound words, even though they actually aren't exceptions, but they just look like it. I will explain this further. We have, for example, the word utgång, which is how we say exit in Swedish. Like when you exit the metro or the subway. Utgång is a compound word because it exists of two words, ut and gång, put together, utgång. We translate it to exit, but actually means out path or out walking. Weird. If you look at this word all together, utgång, then it looks like two consonants coming after the u. And that might make you think that you should do the u short. But you should actually not see it like this. You should see this word as two separate words. The first word being ut, which is one consonant coming after. That's why we need to say the u long. Ut. It just looks like two consonants coming after the u, the tg, because it's put together with gång. But it's actually a separate word. Ut. That's why you need to pronounce this as utgång and not utgång. Utgång. And the same thing happens with the word utfart. A lot of people laugh a lot when they see this word because it looks hilarious in English.
Does that mean what I think it means?
Outfart. And it might become even more hilarious when you get to know that the word fart is how we say speed. But together with the word utfart, it means exit as well. But this is more used when you're talking about exit for cars or buses, any kind of vehicles. And also here, the u becomes really, really long, even if it looks like it's followed by two consonants, because you need to think them as separate words. Utfart, utfart. So let's practice again these two words for exit. Utgång, utfart. Utgång, utfart. Then we have come to the last part of this video. Words that look similar, but you need to pronounce the u either long or short, otherwise it's gonna mean something completely different. Like kul and kul that we mentioned before, but also the words bussig and busig. The word bussig can mean different things, but it can be translated something like kind or nice. Like if I would say this phrase. Skulle du kunna vara bussig och ge mig lite vatten, tack? Would you be so kind to give me some water, please? So here the u in bussig gets really short because we have two consonants coming after. But then we have the word busig. Long u sound because it's just one consonant coming after. Busig can be translated to mischievous or naughty for kids. So if someone tells you du är busig, then it means something like you're being mischievous. So very different to kind, almost the opposite. Let's practice these two words again. Bussig, busig, bussig, busig. Moving on, then we have the words full and ful. Full has two consonants, so the u becomes very short. Full. The Swedish word full has the same meaning like the English full, but we use it a little bit more when we're talking about alcohol. So it can be translated to drunk. So if someone tells you du är full, then it means
You're drunk.
Yes, I believe I am.
But don't mix it up with the word ful, long u. Ful is how we say ugly. So if they say du är ful, it means you are ugly. Maybe you prefer to say that someone is drunk, du är full, then you are ugly. Du är ful. None of these are very fun to hear, but at least be a bit careful with the word ful so you don't go around and say you're ugly to Swedish people. So let's practice these two ones so we don't mix them up. Full, ful, full, ful. Good, hope you learned a lot. If you want, you can write down in the comment section below if you know any other Swedish word with a long version of the U or the short version. And before you go, please subscribe to our channel and put a like. Hej då!